October in Las Vegas, one of the best months of the year to find yourself in the southern Nevada desert.
Oh, it's glorious.
Come
Joseph,
on, come on.
It's glorious.
Can you picture Evel Knievel jumping over that?
I can picture taking a swim in that.
And on that note, happy Monday. Boys and girls, men and women, everyone. Come one, come all, pets as well. And welcome to Bet. From the Link Studios overlooking Caesars Palace, he's Tyler Foljam. I'm Joe Fortenbaugh. Popcorn, aplenty. Not just a prop. We might be eating this as we have our first ever Bet movie night. The theme is sports trivia lines. Got a feeling I might go 0 for 5. But we're going to play that in just a little bit. We've got Monday Night Football between the Saints and the Chargers. That's coming up on ESPN at 8:15 tonight. We have Tuesday Night Football between the Bills and the Titans. We also have Game 1 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and the Braves. But we begin, like we do each and every Monday, with a little game we like to call Reaction or No Action.
Okay.
Reaction or No Action. Simple enough.
It's very simple.
We begin
I think I got it.
in the Pacific Northwest, where the Seattle Seahawks did it again, defeating the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football by the final score of 27-26. It was another Russell Wilson comeback special. But the talk today is on Mike Zimmer, the head coach of the Vikings. Decision late in the game with about 2 minutes to go. 4th and 1 inside the Seattle 10, leading by 5. He decides to go for it to try to put the game away. Doesn't get it. Wilson leads the Seahawks 94 yards down the field for the game-winning score. Did Zimmer make the right decision, reaction or no action?
So I don't know which one is more appropriate, whether it's reaction or no action. I guess for me it's no action because most people are reacting crazy. Why didn't he kick the field goal, Zimmer, you idiot? You gave Russ the opportunity to win the game. At best, he could have tied.
That might be what it sounds
I
like.
think that's silly. I like the move by Mike Zimmer. I think we're judging the result, not the process, and I'm a process-oriented guy.
Always.
Based on win probability, okay? By going for it, despite the result, despite the outcome, before we knew the result, whether they were getting stopped or made that first down, going for it equated to a 98% chance for the Vikings to win in regulation.
That's pretty good from what I remember in math class.
Kicking the field goal, about the same, 97.8% chance to win in regulation. So,
And they found a way to lose this game?
it was, exactly, well, that's a credit to Russell Wilson. That's a credit to Russell Wilson overcoming that math. And how good has Russ and the Seahawks been in these one-score games? Something that's seemingly not sustainable, but he keeps doing it. But I'm going to say that it should be no action because he chose mathematically the correct process. The result wasn't what we wanted, but he chose the correct process. I ask you, Brother Joe, you have a 98% chance of winning $1 million, or you have a 97.8% chance of winning $1 million. Which one are you choosing?
I would like the 98% chance.
Exactly. You're going to do that 100 times out of 100. So we like the process. We do not like the results because he came away, despite a 98% chance to win a football game, with 0 wins. And that's a credit to Russell Wilson, not to his decision-making. His decision-making was sound.
Take the math out of the equation. I'm with you on this because I just like the aggressive nature of trying to win the game. Ask yourself this: 1 yard on offense to win when you had already run for 200 yards against this defense, or put your lousy defense out there, which has been getting gashed all season, and go against Russell Wilson at the end of the game.
Exactly.
So I like the decision. It's similar to what I saw in the Red River Showdown this weekend. Tom Herman, go for 2 in overtime. Don't send your defense back out there against Oklahoma. Go for the win. Where I will say reaction for me is Mike Zimmer's decision earlier in the game. 7 minutes to go. They scored the touchdown to go up 5. He kicks the extra point. They went up 4. He kicks the extra point to go up 5. If he goes for 2 there like he should, he goes up 6.
Yep.
Later in the game in that scenario, he kicks the field goal.
Fair enough.
He's up 9. He wins the game. That was the mistake.
Agree.
But that's the end of that. Number 2 on the list. And this was probably the toughest piece of news to deal with, no matter who you're a fan of. Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. It feels like we're going to get one of these at least every year. A gruesome leg injury. Went to the hospital, had surgery last night. His season is done. The first thing you start with is the thoughts and prayers and condolences. You take fandom out of the equation for this one. It's just a terrible injury to a really good guy who was having a nice season.
Yeah, you feel for Dak because even though he's making $31.4 million this year, there's no guarantees for Dak Prescott as far as his income beyond 2020. So if something happens with his ankle and leg and he's not able to get back to the player he was, he's lost a lot of future income. But I do think Dak, who's persevered through a lot, will rebound, will come back, and hopefully he does get that contract from the Cowboys or somewhere else commensurate to his talent in the NFL because he's proven to be one of the best quarterbacks.
What does it do to the NFC East? Andy Dalton, former Cincinnati Bengal, will be stepping in, as he did yesterday, and he did win that game. He made a big throw late in the game. The Red Rifle.
No action. No action on the NFC East. I still think the Cowboys have the most talent in that division. Even if Andy Dalton's their quarterback, they should win it. Andy Dalton can get the ball to CeeDee Lamb, can get the ball to Amari Cooper, can turn around and hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott. On that defensive side of the ball, DeMarcus Lawrence finally woke up. Alden Smith's been great. Maybe they get Leighton Vander Esch back and Jalen Smith starts to play better. The most talented team in the division is the Dallas Cowboys. So as brutal as the injury is for Dak Prescott, no action on me handicapping this division. I still think the Cowboys should win.
In a game in which survivor brackets were just absolutely destroyed, the Las Vegas Raiders shocked the world. They go into Kansas City, they upset the defending champions, and knock them from the ranks of the unbeaten. Your level of surprise that the Raiders pulled off that upset?
Decently surprised, but I'm not going to overreact, so no action to a Week 5 loss for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guess what they did in Week 5 last year, Joe Fortenbaugh?
What's that?
They lost a football game in Week 5 of the 2019 NFL season.
They're cursed
They
in
then
Week 5.
went on to win the Super Bowl, so on any given Sunday, as they say, especially for a divisional rival, it was a bad loss. Don't get it twisted, but they're still 4-1. They still have a healthy Pat Mahomes as their quarterback. They should still be odds-on favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. So more so than look at, oh my gosh, what's wrong with Kansas City? Credit to John Gruden and the Raiders. I didn't think they'd win that game. They proved me wrong. They're now 3-2. Maybe they make the AFC West more a more interesting race. Maybe they qualify for one of 7 playoff spots in the AFC and do some damage in the postseason. So all it's done for me is maybe open my eyes to how dangerous the Raiders' offense can be, because Pat Mahomes in Kansas City still scored 32 points, but they lost the game because that defense didn't show up for Steve Spagnuolo, and Derek Carr and the Raiders scored 40. Is this an offense that is going to be explosive throughout the season, and can that help them win games?
Having Henry Ruggs back was a big help. He had the exact stat line you would expect when he was coming out of school. It's 2 catches, 1,000 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had a huge day. Listen to what it took to beat the Chiefs. I think what happened yesterday is more of it's not a plus. I'm not going to sell it as, oh, this is great for Kansas City. This is what it takes to beat Kansas City. The Raiders had to go 50% on 3rd down, 2 for 2 on 4th down, score 40 points, roll up 490 total yards, have an insane 7.3 yards per play average, 35 minutes and 17 seconds time of possession, fewer penalties than Kansas City, fewer sacks allowed than Kansas City, 3 for 3 on trips to the red zone, only 1 turnover, only 1 punt.
So that's like 11
That's what it
things.
took to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
And the Chiefs still had an opportunity to
still
come
in the
back
game.
and tie it. One
It wasn't
possession
even a blowout.
with Pat Mahomes, 8 points that can disintegrate in an instant. So yes, I think this is just any given Sunday that something happened for the Chiefs. Credit again to the Raiders for playing maybe their best game of the year.
All right, so that's what happened on Sunday. Now we have to get to what could happen tonight and also tomorrow night. Tuesday Night Football, the Joe Webb special. If you remember Joe Webb when the Metrodome or whatever they called it in Minneapolis collapsed. They had to play that Tuesday game. It will be the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills in Nashville. Currently, Buffalo is a 3.5-point road favorite with a total of 53. Let's start with this. Why are the Bills only laying 3.5?
I don't know. That's dumbfounding to me. I guess the game is in Tennessee, but there's no home field advantage. Buffalo's been able to practice in person to prepare for this game. Tennessee has, even though they have practiced in person against the rules, they're now going to be missing, I think, 14 players due to COVID, including key starters like Adam Humphries, Corey Davis, Michael Pruitt, and Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive side of the ball. These guys won't be participating in this game because of their COVID positive test, and the fact that the backups haven't been able to get reps in person, ostensibly, with the first teamers, whoever they're replacing, because the practice facility has been shut down for Tennessee. I don't know why it's not double. I don't know why it's not closer to 6 or 7 points.
See, that's the thing. I looked at that and I thought to myself, this looks too good to be true. Buffalo's 4-0. They're cruising. Great offense, balanced defense. Tennessee hasn't been able to practice. Derrick Henry's averaging 3.9 yards per carry. And then I think to myself, am I walking into a trap? We'll get to our picks in just a moment. Josh Allen's going to be quarterbacking the Bills in this game. He has been phenomenal through the first month of the season. But Russell Wilson again last night. I believe the number is that 22 of the last 26 Seattle games have been decided by 1 score. And in those 22 one-score games, the Seahawks are 18-4. That is an insane number, and it's big, big on the shoulders of Russell Wilson as he delivers week in and week out. Is anyone catching Russell Wilson for the MVP? Josh Allen or beyond?
It's possible, because we are, again, only 5 weeks into the season. I don't think Russell has an insurmountable head start. And, again, if that defense continues to falter and Russ cannot maintain this superhuman level of play for just a game or two, then maybe they fall out of division lead and the Rams jump up there, or maybe the Packers remain undefeated and Aaron Rodgers with a little bit better defense has more room for error and is able to quarterback a team that is the 1 seed in the NFC. You go over to the AFC side, maybe Pat Mahomes after this loss gets pissed off and rips off, 4 straight games of 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. So
he could do that.
He absolutely could do that. And we talked about Josh Allen, who has been just awesome so far this season. So it's not over by any stretch of the imagination, but Russ is clearly proving that he may be the most embodiment of that word value for his team. Because if you take Russ off the Seahawks, they're a 1-win team, maybe winless.
They're the Jets of the West Coast. They're not the Jets. No one's sorry, Seattle. No one's the Jets. That is a grave insult. I apologize for that. Tennessee off for a couple weeks. Normally, we'd look at that as an advantage.
Right.
We'd say they're rested. They're ready to go. Rest or rust because they haven't been able to practice.
Rust.
And not to be confused with Russell Wilson. Rust.
Not only are they not practicing, but they're having to replace starters with guys who need those reps in practice and haven't been able to do it. So rust, I'm expecting big time. Another reason why this line looked real fishy to me.
All right. Give me a pick. The show is called Bet After All. Tuesday night, the Bills are laying 3.5 on the road. Totals 53. Where are you going?
I'm just strolling on right into that trap. 3.5 for the Bills. I'll take the
Looks
head
good
start.
to me,
It
Ma.
looks great to me. How are the Titans going to compete with this team? I think the Bills are better anyways. Even if they were able to practice and had no COVID issues, you compound what they're dealing with internally and the fact that the Bills have had the advantage of having an open practice facility, getting, days and weeks of reps in and work, and I think they're the better team. I'll lay the 3.5, and I'll do it comfortably.
I like it. I am also going to be on this game. As you know, it is called Bet, and I like to bet under 53 total points between the Bills and the Titans. If you want to attack the Bills and you want any chance whatsoever in having success against them, you got to attack the weak spot, and that would be their run defense. Currently 15th in the NFL in opponent yards per carry. Derrick Henry's been off for 2 weeks. His yards per carry average this year is down to 3.9 from 5.1 last year. You're going to feed Henry. You're going to keep that third-ranked Bills offense off the field. You're going to grind the clock. And by the way, after overs were cashing like crazy, about 60% the first 4 weeks, 7-5 to the under entering tonight, which is where we go next. Tonight, Monday Night Football, ESPN, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. It's the New Orleans Saints, who are they on primetime every week?
Seems like it.
The Saints primetime game every week.
Seems like it, don't it?
Never ends, as they will be hosting Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers, although maybe for just one night only. We call him Justin A. Bear, since the game is in New Orleans. Old people like myself will get the reference. Young people probably will not, and nor should you, or should you care.
Just go look up the tremendous lineage of Cajun or Creole quarterbacks for the New Orleans Saints, and you'll get the joke.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of Creole quarterbacks that played in the NFL. Michael Thomas out again, star wide receiver. It's like, all right, Thomas has been hurt. He hasn't played since week 1.
Not
he
injury.
got into a fight at practice, and Sean Payton suspended him.
That's crazy.
What is this guy doing?
It must have been significant.
It has to be something, right? It's not just a shove.
Yeah, it must have been a sucker punch or something like that. If your head coach is suspending you, and we know how the offense has struggled in the narrative that Drew Brees can't push the ball downfield, and he needs his boy Michael Thomas. So the fact that Sean Payton is willing to sit him down for this game, it must have been a rather egregious error of judgment on his part.
Egregious error of judgment. I like that. That makes it sound nice. That's what his agent would say.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an egregious error of judgment on
That's all it
behalf
was.
of my
The one-off.
client. Was I too abusive on Drew Brees early, calling him a game manager at this point in his career? Because the last 2 weeks he's put up some big numbers.
Yeah, maybe a game manager can be explosive. Okay, you don't have to throw the ball far down the field if you throw it to Alvin Kamara 5 yards past the line of scrimmage and he runs it 50 yards the rest of the way into the end zone, breaking 6 tackles. When you have someone like Kamara, when you have someone with the intelligence of Brees who can make lightning-quick processing decisions and break down a defense, even if it is not at the second or third level, it's at the first level, getting his guys the ball, the opportunity to make plays. Traquan Smith has shown up and played well in the absence of Michael Thomas. So maybe I think it's appropriate to call more of a manager now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be, the 1970, New York Giant football team that averages 16 points a game. I don't know if they did that in
Good
1970.
Pull.
I was just...
If it's even close, it's a great pull.
Don't know.
For tonight, the Saints are laying 7. The total now around 49.5. It's been coming down a little bit. Every Saints game has gone over so far this season. 4-0 to the over. What do you like tonight?
I'm going to ride that trend. I think with what Justin Herbert has shown us as Anthony Lynn's guy, having someone who can get the ball to Keenan Allen, having someone who can get the ball to their stable of running backs, even though Austin Eckler will not play. Both Josh Kelly and Justin Jackson have been very serviceable in this offense. So I think you'll see points from the Los Angeles side.
Good catch.
Almost at Los Angeles
No penalty.
side. And no one stops Alvin Kamara. As good as the defense has been for the LA Chargers, I think that we get over 49.5. Is that what you said it was?
49.5?
49.5. I like that, especially that hook under 50. I'll go over.
I am going to be taking a page out of your playbook and going prop city here.
Okay.
We're going to go Justin Hebert over 267.5 passing yards in this game. 267.5. Now, let's look at the game script, as you would say. They're a 7-point dog. So it's not unreasonable to think the Chargers will be down in this game, thus needing to throw the ball for 4 quarters, leading to some garbage time numbers late. In addition, Herbert, through 3 games so far this season, is averaging 310 yards per game. In fact, every single game has gone over 268 passing yards. So he's trending in the right direction. He's in a situation that will call for a lot of passing. And in addition to that, the Saints have been pretty solid against the pass, but Janoris Jenkins out for tonight. Marshawn Lattimore's banged up as well. Over 267.5 passing yards for Justin Hebert.
I like that too because they're a pass funnel defense. The Saints are 5th in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game, 3rd in yards rushing per attempt. So attack them through the air because they're dominant against the run.
Parlay to Paradise. Got to give an update on the Parlay to Paradise. Every week, my esteemed colleague and I each pick 4 games. We combine them into an 18 parlay, and then we add a 9th pick from a celebrity guest. Well, this week, not as bad as previous weeks, my friend. 2-2 for you, 3-1 for me. The Bear, in a very un-Bear-like, un-Grizzly-like fashion, missed on Swindon Town. Now, I don't know anything about Swindon Town or AFC Wimbledon, AFC French Open, AFC Australian Open. I don't know anything about any of that. But he's usually hot on soccer. He missed. You got us off to a good start. It was nice to get that first one on Thursday night.
Yeah, but it's still, this doesn't account for the fact that last week you were 4 for 4. Our guest picker nailed hers. Was it Anita?
It was Anita Marks.
And I screwed up.
Yeah, but that's all right. Look at you. You bounce back nice. We're getting closer. Remember, we don't have to win them all. We just have to win one.
That's true.
It's 30 grand.
We've lost how much so far? $200?
We've lost quite a bit. Yeah.
We've lost 200.
This is going to be week 5 coming up, so we are down $200.
But again, all we got to do is win one, baby.
We'll just put the 200 on the Bills tomorrow, cover the 3.5, then we're even. Then we'll go back into hawk when it comes to the parlay for this weekend. All right, here it is. We've been getting along quite nicely so far. It feels like we're aligned.
Okay.
Not anymore. It's movie night time. The first ever bet movie night. Oh, wow. We have graphics and
I like movie
music.
night. I might have a movie night afterward. You want to come snuggle up, Joe, on the couch and...
That is a pass, but I appreciate the offer. Thank you very much. Here's how movie night works. We each have 5 questions we will be asking one another. 10 different sports-themed movies. I will give you a quote. You will have to tell me which movie it's from, and a bonus point if you can guess the character who said it.
Ooh.
Not the name of the person in real life, but the
character's name.
Right, the character's name. Here are the movies we will be pulling from.
Movies.
I did not realize we would get this.
Yeah,
this is a bit of an advantage here. Huge help.
That's a big help.
Huge help. I thought I was going 0 for 5.
I think you put the training wheels on our tricycle. You should have let us.
To the producers who put this together, it kind of feels like you think we're pretty stupid and we're going to fail this.
The thing is, I remember none of the movies that are up there besides the ones that
you have?
for
Yeah.
you.
All right, so here we go.
You're asking first, right?
I'm going to ask number 1.
Okay.
And we got our roulette chips here. Question number 1, here's your quote. There's no crying in baseball.
There's no crying in baseball is from A League of Their Own.
Boom.
And it's Tom Hanks' character.
There he is right there. Look at him. He looks good. Gina Davis as well.
Jimmy
Tedeschi.
It was like a play on Jimmy Fox.
The answer is Jimmy Dugan.
Jimmy Dugan.
Jimmy Dugan. But
Jimmy Dugan.
Congratulations to you. You did score 1 point there.
Okay. Question number 1 for you.
Zen mode.
And I'm going to try and perform it as it is in the movie, too. I'll make it.
That's the end of the quote.
It's 3 words. I'll make it.
Well, it's not Rocky.
No, it is not.
Let's go. I've never seen this movie, but I do know one of the characters' names, and it's embarrassing I haven't seen it, but I saw it up there. Hoosiers, Jimmy Chitwood. Ding, 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 ding! That's the only character's name I know, because I've never seen the movie. I've never seen the movie.
You get 2 of these bad boys.
2.
Claim your 2.
Throw one over because I owed you 1 to begin with. Thank you.
Oops. Well, that's collateral damage.
Not as if we won't be able to pick it up later. All right, question number 2.
Okay.
We have a pool and a pond. The pond is better for you. We have a pool and a pond. The pond.
Wish I would have seen that list of movies that was up there.
It would be extremely helpful if we still had it, yes.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore is incorrect. Incorrect. It turns out that wasn't even a movie to pick from.
Oh, it's Caddyshack. I mean, it was close.
Caddyshack.
And that came from Ty Webb.
Ty Webb. You
Ty
do
Webb.
get the bonus point correct, though. Good work there. That's what we call salvaging.
Okay.
Salvaging. It's garbage time stats right there.
Here we go. Number 2. Uh-oh, Rexy, don't think this one's got the distance.
That would be one of the few I know on this list. That is Major League, and it's the character played by Tom Berenger, the catcher, which is Jake Taylor.
Ding, ding, ding! 2 for 2, baby!
Nowhere close to Taylor's, or actually just keep one because I still owed you one.
Right.
This is a mess. There's too much going on with the popcorn and everything. Question number
maybe
3
that's what
for
I
my
need.
esteemed colleague.
I need to get into my popcorn.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. You can go with Rocky if you want. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Well, I don't know that one. Major League was up there. What other base? The Natural.
Could be a football
From
movie.
The Natural.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. But that was a baseball movie.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Do you know any of the characters'
I
names
don't know.
from Field of
I don't
Dreams?
know anything.
Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann.
I would not have known that. Okay, this one. Number 3 for you, Brother Joe Fortenbaugh.
Hit me with it.
Every champion was once a contender who refused to give up.
So we will go with Rocky. Because that's
correct.
what that sounds like, Rocky. Every champion was once a contender who
refused to
give up. So we're going to go with Rocky Balboa. Rocky's the name of the movie. I actually have to say Rocky very. So this would be, I would guess, the Burgess Meredith character, which would be Mick the trainer.
You don't get the bonus point. It came from Rocky Balboa himself.
Seems a little too articulate for Rocky. Seems like something in there should be somewhat messy.
There you go. You got one,
all right. Thank you, sir. We're stacking. We're going to play a lot of roulette later.
This popcorn is fire.
You like it? Is it
I'm
good?
a cheese guy. If you give me the holiday popcorn with the cheese, the butter, and the caramel, I'm going to dump the caramel out and just mix the cheese and the butter together and have myself a grand old time.
I made a mistake having that one because now I want to go back and have all of it.
Oh, man, it's
I
so
should have
good.
stayed away from it. Now I want all of it. Question number 4.
I'm rubbing it on my leg like,
I've been ready for this my whole life.
God, I really wish I had looked at those movies that were
I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to help you out here.
hints.
You want a hint? All right. I've been ready for this my whole life. It's the only time in the history of movies anyone's ever said that line. The answer, you'll see it here. Rudy.
Rudy.
Now, who
Rudy
said
Rudiger.
it?
Rudy Rudiger?
There you go.
Rudy
Nice
Rudiger?
point. Here's a roulette chip, sir. Well done. Well done indeed.
Okay, I'm officially kind of protesting how much easier your questions or
It
your.
does feel like
yours
I got
have been.
easier questions.
Okay,
Does feel like I
you got another 3-word quote. Sweep the leg.
Yes, and this series on Netflix has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg would be Sensei John Kreese from the movie Karate Kid.
Double whammy.
Sensei
Double
John
whammy.
Kreese.
I believe technically it's a YouTube series that is now on Netflix, but
Look at
that's in case YouTube is
How do you have that fact? but
in
none of
case
these-
it's
none of the other-
responsible for our checks or something. I don't know. Just want to make sure you get that right.
All right, question number 5.
Best thing I got going for me is the popcorn.
Pick me out a winner, Bobby. Pick me out a winner, Bobby.
Is that
This popcorn is fantastic. Take your time, I'm hungry.
pick me out a winner, Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby. So all the movies with people named Bobby. Could it be something about Bobby Kennedy?
You know,
Probably not. I don't think he was in any
You know what
sports
movie I'm
movies.
thinking of right now is Searching for Bobby Fischer about the chess prodigy, which
Is chess a
Weimer-
sport?
Sure.
All right.
Competition. So I'll say Searching for Bobby. It's
I'm
Pick Me
giving
Out
you
a
a
Winner,
point.
Bobby, from The Natural.
I'm giving you a point for the guess. Do you know the character played by one Robert Redford?
I don't know his name in The Natural.
Roy Hobbs.
Oh yeah, come on, Tyler. Come on, Tyler. Oh my God,
Last question,
Roy
let's go.
Hobbs. Final question. Are you 4 for 4 right now?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track. I've been eating the popcorn.
I think you're 4-4. Okay. Great moments are born from great opportunity. Great moments
All right.
are born from great opportunity.
I don't know if it was on the list, but I think I would have known this one possibly off the. Is it Miracle? All right. So now I need the coach. So it's Kurt Russell's character, the coach. Damn, I should know this. He's one of the all-timers. Give me a hint. Just give me a hint.
I'll give you one hint.
Give me a hint.
There has been a famous car in Hollywood that's named similarly, that has the same name. His first name is the same as a famous car in Hollywood from many, many years ago.
This is killing me. I know. I don't. I have to pass. I'm
Do you
wrong.
remember the car Herbie?
Herb. No, I'm still short. What is it?
Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks.
Herb Brooks.
It's lousy to end on that one. You should be required as an American citizen to know everything about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team. Michael Ruzioni was the captain. That's shame to the family name. I apologize.
You did well in this. You know what? I owe you a tremendous compliment because on Thursday's episode of Daily Wager, you paid me a tremendous compliment about hosting Bet With Me, and I just accepted it without returning the favor. So
you insulted me.
I yield to your genius on Bet Sports Movie Night Trivia, my friend. Well done. You have earned this victory.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. It was a very fun game.
It looks like you laid out by the pool all weekend watching sports movies in preparation for this.
I laid out by the pool. I may have been partaking in some other activities in a lounging, responsible fashion.
You look fantastic, though.
So thank you. That's very nice of you to say. So do you. See, that's how you pay back the compliment.
Interesting how that
As you just looked at me and you were like, thanks. We're on national TV here. And then Kazarian was nice enough to call it out. All right. Game 1, National League Championship Series. Dodgers and the Braves. It's right around the corner, going to be coming on in a little bit. Give me a series pick. What do you think is going to happen here? Is it a foregone conclusion for the Braves?
Well,
for the Dodgers, excuse me?
Yeah, I picked the Dodgers to represent the National League in the World Series before the postseason started, so I'd be foolish to jump off that train. They can mash, they can hit. The Braves can do that as well. The Braves have a powerful lineup. I think it's going to be maybe the best series the Dodgers have seen thus far, but I'll stick with the horse that has taken me so far to this point. I think the Dodgers win in 6. I think their pitching
6 games
is a little bit too much, though their bullpen, Kenley Jansen, a little bit concerning me. I hope Dave Roberts limits his exposure to high leverage situations.
All right. I am going to be right there with you.
Dodgers
Look at that.
6.
Beautiful. Dodgers in 6. I'm going to go Dodgers in 5. I think this year is setting up very well for them in that when they're finally going to break through, it's going to happen in a year where everyone tries to take it away from them. Yeah, but it was a 60-game season. Yeah, but it was expanded playoffs. Dodgers have been mashing. I like what the Braves do, but the Dodgers have the better rotation, the better lineup. The Braves had the edge when it comes to the bullpen. That's it. I'd like to see Atlanta make this tough. I'm going Dodgers in 5. I've also got a bonus pick for you. Tonight, game 1, you know I love that high wire act. First 5 innings,
Guy's bet.
under 4 runs.
This is a signature Fortenbaugh bet.
This is a high wire act.
That's what he loves to do.
I don't have time to watch the whole game. I'm just coming in. I want to make a quick rager, and I'm out of there. It's Fried going for Atlanta tonight. Max Fried, the left. Now, the Dodgers mash, but they mash righties better than lefties.
Correct.
For the Dodgers, it's going to be Walker Buehler. Buehler's still battling that blister a little bit, but he's been really solid.
He's their best pitcher.
Atlanta has crushed righties, but I think game 1 of the NLCS, you're going to see some nerves like we saw in game 1 of the ALCS. Under 4 runs, first 5 innings. I need 3. 4's a push, 5 is the end of it.
Okay. I like it. I thought you were going to go full Fortenbaugh and only have enough attention span for the first inning, for the first 6 outs.
I love the first inning bets, but it's Monday. I can't set my week up like that. You got to ease into the week. The week is like a hot tub. You ease into the week, you ease into a hot tub. You don't come in betting first inning bets. No run in the first inning for on a Monday. That's a show right there.
Yeah, I like the sports movie trivia. I think we should keep doing that around these parts. And congratulations again on a hard-earned victory, my friend. You were a worthy competitor and a noble champion.
Let's keep it up, if only to keep having popcorn this good on a regular basis.
This stuff is fantastic.
Thank you for watching. Remember, you can catch us youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. Thank you all for tuning in. Monday Night Football is right around the corner, 8:15 on ESPN. Tony Reali.